Hi, this is Rene Ritchie from the iPhone blog. This is the Smartphone Experts Round Robin Year 3, and today I am looking at Android Central's Pride and Joy, the Droid. And that is but a pale imitation of what you are about to hear. I'm firing it up. I see a Motorola logo. That is not what I expected. I was led to believe there was a much more menacing sight in store for me.
Don't worry, it'll come.
It'll come.
Soon.
Casey, if it takes much longer to boot up, we have to fix it in post. Alright, so in the meantime, I'm looking at the hardware, and it's fairly nice. It's good Motorola build quality. It's got gold on black, the camera on the side, the battery case, which Dave Weiner... Oh, there it is, the Eye of Mordor. The unblinking eye. So now it's starting up. I can feel haptics here, so these keys actually vibrate when your finger goes over them. That's interesting.
Yeah, but that's an option too. You could turn it off.
Okay, I'm not used to options, Casey, so you're gonna have to forgive me. Ooh, that, you know, I make fun of that, but that is awesome. So I've got to and then I've got to swipe to unlock. Okay, so I can. Oh, it did it, even though I messed it up. All right, so what am I looking at here in terms of the Droid? This is 2.0. I am an iPhone user, so I am used to these updates going from 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0. What did 2.0 give me?
Android 2.0 basically got Android ready for the prime time. The icons are updated. They're not as cartoony as before. And they added Google Maps navigation, and it's a lot speedier than previous Androids.
I accidentally showed all of Casey's family there, so we'll have to fix that in post too. And it's got this big, so it's just almost like the G1 I tried last year, because some of the Android devices I saw didn't have a keyboard. And this one, I don't know if you can really call it a keyboard, but there's little square things with letters on them. What do you think about this so far?
It definitely takes a little to get used to. I mean, the keys are really tight together, and you have to kind of reach over and pass the 5-way.
Okay. Is that a 5? I wasn't sure that was like a fingerprint reader or some sort of exposed circuit. But it's not a trackpad either. It's an actual toggle.
Yeah, it would be cool if it was a trackpad, but it just toggles up, down, left, right.
I heard a lot about Google's navigation on this. Is that actually installed? Does that come on the device?
Yeah, it comes for free, of course, and you get turn-by-turn text-to-speech and all that good stuff.
The text-to-speech is when it tells me what road I'm on.
Yeah, it's very robotic, so you kind of have to listen to it and translate it yourself, but it works. It's free, so it's hard to complain.
Right, so if I wanted to get to Google Maps, how would I find what I have to pull up? I pull up this tab if I remember right. And
or there was a shortcut, but yeah, you could do that.
I missed
too.
the short. Where was the shortcut?
Maps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm not actually going anywhere, so it's flashing at me, Casey.
Basically, we already have directions set up. You showed it on map, but if you click navigate on that option,
I've got to go back. How do I go back? Is there a back? I
There's
got a back button.
Yep.
I'm not used to back buttons either.
And then it'll launch navigation. Sometimes it has trouble searching for GPS, but for the most part, it's pretty good.
Okay, and it is, of course, free. It's not like on the iPhone we have several turn-by-turn apps, but the free ones are mostly crowdsourced, and the other ones go up to like $100. So this is definitely, and they don't have Google's massive search index behind them, so this is pretty nice. I'm not sure if it'll find GPS in this hotel building.
We've been having trouble. But for the most part, it works, and it's free, right?
It is free. It's hard to compete with free. In terms of the app market, how is that progressing? It's around 10,000 apps now?
Yeah, it's about 10,000. Not quite the 100,000 that we have on the iPhone, right? But the 10,000, it's more open. They don't reject apps for like needless reasons or anything like that.
But they will take it. Like for example, if you put Super Mario Brothers up there, Nintendo complains, they'll yank it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've just got to call them up and tell them every application is Nintendo, and I can win this one. And are the apps well-rounded now? Like, can you find pretty much one of everything that you need?
Pretty much. For the most part, the apps are decent, but they're improving, of course. And then Google's hosting like ADC 2, Android Developer Challenge 2, where they give prizes away and stuff. They just announced the winners recently, so they're still trying to get developers into the mix, basically.
Okay, now this is the HTC Hero running on Sprint.
Yeah, it's Android 1.5. Yeah.
So this is the Sense UI version.
Yeah.
Now, is Sense UI meant to fundamentally change what Android is? Like, what's the reason to put Sense UI on Android? Because it's not old like Windows Mobile. It's a brand new OS.
I think it's really just to beautify the whole system and make it more easy to use. Like Android is a little for the hardcore. You know, you could kind of get into it, but then with Sense, everything's on the surface level. So then you just play with widgets, you play with, you know, pretty icons, and it looks great.
So if you were one of the original Gmail invitees, you'd want to go with the Droid.
Yeah.
But if you were moving up from Chad's infamous Razor, then this is maybe what you want. And this is actually really nice, and it's heavy on the widgets, which we saw on some of the other devices too.
You can easily switch the widgets or completely switch the entire home screen if you just hit the menu button real quick.
That's what I'm not comfortable with. These things with customizations.
And then you click the scenes.
Scenes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then we're under work right now, but if you want to change the play or social, it'll completely revamp your whole screen. So it kind of turns one phone into like 7 different phones if you want, because now you have new widgets and like new. And
this isn't running 2.0 yet.
No, it's running 1.5. Eventually, it'll run 2.0.
Is that a problem because HTC is doing their own thing? Does that cause delays? Like, for example, every iPhone gets the same OS update. Does it delay? Like, will I get it later than a stock Google device because I have to wait for HTC to make sense on top of it?
It's a little unclear right now, but yeah, for HTC who have put sense on the devices, it takes a while for them to get up to 2.0. The other HTC devices are only on 1.6 too, so it's kind of weird that only the Droid is on 2.0.
Okay, so there always seems to be one sort of flagship device that gets the new OS first.
Yeah.
Now, do you foresee a day, for example, where I'll go into a Sprint store and there'll be a Sense UI phone and I won't be able to tell if it's Sense on top of Windows or Sense on top of Android?
I think that day is coming soon, actually. HTC has done such a good job building something on top of Android. It's kind of, you can't really tell, like, honestly, like if you looked at it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can tell it's Android just because there are, you know, some Android-y things about it, but the Sense is definitely the predominant sort of I hate using that word experience, but it really is in this case. It's a different way of interacting with Android. Now, would the same apps work on the Droid that work on this? Because the Droid's got a much bigger screen, right?
Yeah. The problem right now is some apps are built for 1.5 or 1.6, and then when you download them onto Android, the Droid, like they won't render properly. It just looks kind of off.
Okay.
Like we ran into issues of that with like the Game Time app on the Droid. It just looks funky. Like the font is ridiculously small.
So can we see an example of that? So if I go, is there Game Time on here?
Dude, did I download it?
Or can you show me what it looks like on the Droid?
Yeah.
Because that's one of the concerns we have if they do an iPhone HD is that how are they going to do it for the different screens? So you have NBA Game Time.
If you click onto...
Move it over a bit so you can see.
Try to see the stats.
Okay.
You can't see it at all.
Oh, that's tiny. I don't even think
you can't zoom in.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't zoom. Okay, so that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things with the iPhone too is even though people are paying a lot of money for an iPhone and it's sort of a premium phone, we still get complaints that apps are too expensive. Because Google is Google and they give so much away for free and Android is open source, is there a lot of pressure to make the apps free too? Like, is there even more resistance to paying for applications and making money on the store?
I think so. A lot of developers have said that, you know, that no one's really... Google hasn't done a great job in promoting paid applications or whatever, because I think Android naturally caters to a more, you know, an open community who believes in different things than, you know, maybe iPhone customer who are used to like luxury items.
So nice. So you got HTC's custom footprints app on there too. So they're putting a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Is there anything that I missed? Anything big that you think I should take a look at?
Just the little things, like basically, if you can turn off, you know, on the iPhone you can't turn off landscape mode.
No.
You can turn that off in the settings.
Hey, for 2 versions we couldn't turn it on. So we're making progress. So here's the market.
Yeah, and the market is revamped for 2.0. It looks a lot better. It looks more modern, you know, compared to the old black looking.
Okay, excellent. And there's 10,000. Well, Casey, that's great. Thank you so much, and I really look forward to trying these out.